Hi, it's Dr. Seth Bauer here from Full Function Chiropractic. Today I just wanted to give you a quick impromptu video about spinal disc injuries, what a disc does, how it gets injured, and just give you a general overview. So let me spin the camera around here really fast. Down here we have a model of a spine on the table. Right here is the pelvis. Here is the base of the skull, and so this person will be lying on their back. And then all these white sections right here, right here, right here, they're vertebral bodies or your vertebrae. And then in between each vertebrae, you have these opaque substances. They're supposed to represent the spinal disc in your body. And each spinal disc basically acts as a shock absorber for the spine. Anytime you run, jump, walk, whatever the case may be, that handles a lot of that up and down stress and impact that you take. And so if we come over here to the poster in my office, here's a picture of a disc basically removed from the spine. You'll see there's two layers. The outside is called the annulus, and then the inside is called the nucleus pulposus. The outside is more of a cartilaginous substance. It's pretty firm, pretty rigid, and actually handles side-to-side stress as you move throughout the day. The nucleus is more of a jelly substance, and it's actually designed to handle up and down stress. So a lot of that jumping and running impact that we were talking about. If you take a healthy disc and you actually put a slice through it, they actually did this. They did this in some cadaver studies, and they found that if you put a slice through it and then apply pressure, if this disc is healthy and not inflamed, you can't force that material in the center to leak outward. It just won't happen. And so the way a disc gets injured is that, if you look at the spine again, you'll see that above that disc, there's a vertebrae here, joints back here. Throughout life, you're sitting, you're standing, you're running, whatever you're doing day to day, you're creating stress on these structures, and it creates inflammation. That inflammation then works itself into the center of the disc and causes this nucleus here to go from a jelly to more of a liquid. At that point, anything can kind of set you off. A lot of people say, I sneezed really hard and I threw my back out, or I lifted something up, or I got in a car accident and I herniated a disc. It wasn't necessarily those injuries that caused the herniation. Like I said, it's a slow building process. And so that may have been the straw that broke the camel's back, but it was the day-to-day stress and repetition and irritation that you do to yourself that actually leads up to a disc injury. And so what a disc injury looks like is if you come down over here, you'll see basically a dissection. They kind of cut the spine in half. And right here where the nucleus should be, you see that it's pretty empty, and it's actually swollen back this way toward this yellow substance, which represents your spinal cord. And so as you lean forward, typically in 90% of disc injuries, leaning forward is going to make it worse because it puts pressure out in the front, and it causes this material to swell backwards and herniate towards the nerves. This direct pressure on the nerves is what gives you the pain down the legs, the tingling, the numbness, those symptoms you think of when you have like a true sciatica issue. Good news is that just because you have a disc injury doesn't mean you have to have pain. You could have a herniation here, a bulge here, a disc bulge there, and have absolutely no pain. Or you could have one tiny one and be, crying on the floor. This is true of arthritis as well. Just because you have these injuries doesn't mean they correlate directly with pain. And so you always want to be careful anytime you go for an MRI and someone says, well, you have a disc herniation, that's what your pain is from. That needs to be correlated and matched up with a good health history and orthopedics as well. Because like I said, just because you have a disc injury there, your pain could actually be coming from one of the joints back here being strained, the sacroiliac joint being strained, maybe a muscle irritation. There's a whole host of things that could be causing you trouble. But that's a general overview of a disc injury and how the disc works. So thanks for tuning in, and if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks, and have a good day.